I don't know about you, but I had a beautiful long Hari Raya weekend because I live in paradise at the Kranji countryside in Singapore. So I'm back at work today, it's Tuesday, and you're all back at work and back at school. But never mind, I will keep you entertained for the next few minutes. So what's the news? These kids popping smart pills to lift their grades. It's so sad to hear that. You know, during our time, when you score 75% in your exams, you are already considered a genius. So I am a genius because I always score 75%. Instead of trying to achieve the 25% more to score 100, which will make you just become a nerd and work for I know who, right? The government, because you're a scholar. I learned how to hunt, I learned how to fish, I learned how to ride a bicycle, I learned how to steal my neighbor's chicken, I learned how to chase boys, and we all became warriors. So what's wrong with our education system that kids have to resort to pills to simply lift their grades? The ministers of education should seriously look into this issue before our kids are hooked on drugs later on in life because they started it in school now. Now, my favorite part of the program, to talk about the GAHMEN. You know the GAHMEN? They are setting up a new center for all ethnic self-help groups to conduct programs. I have suggested this 100 years ago because when Sinda approached me to help the Indians, I told them I am not an Indian. So they wrote a letter to me and said, "Dear fellow Indian Singaporean." So I wrote back and said, "Dear donkey, I'm not a fellow and I'm not an Indian Singaporean. I am a Singaporean." Right? If I must help the Indians, what about my Malay driver and my Chinese secretary? Should I help them too or not? So I'm very happy they're finally cutting out this crap of racial profiling. We should help everybody who needs help. We should look at their family circumstances when they are unemployed, when they are poor and they are struggling. That's why kids do not do well. Let's help all our kids do well in our beautiful country. Now, government taking back 191 homes in Geylang. Everybody is like surprised that leases do end. Yes, leases do end. Government acquires freehold land, like my father's land in Simei, and then converts it to leasehold because they are clever government. They make sure that every generation pays for your home. It's good for the country, but it's bad for you and it's bad for the building of a country because a lot of people think that this is a hotel. Right? And a lot of people feel they cannot leave their home to their children. So where is there the continuity? However, there are many properties which are freehold, District 9, 10, 11, and certain other landed property areas. You and I know where they are. I have a good suggestion for our government. Convert all freehold into leasehold so that all is fair in love and property ownership. And now, my dear darling Prime Minister, I have already told you, no need to apologize again and again. Your apology is accepted. We know these kind of things happen, not just to your family, but to many other families. But what you should do is stop talking about it anymore and tell your brother and sister to also shut up and settle this in your own office or with your lawyers. A committee should be set up by the president of independent people, not cronies or slaves of the regime. Parliament is not the place to settle this private issue. So please stop talking about this anymore. I am truly fascinated how cheap, Charlie, these law firms can be. We are pushing cheaper, better and faster, but these local law firms are getting better. They want it free. You know, there's a word for free labor. It's called slavery. But you know, lawyers can always give you an argument. They will say that these people are lucky that they haven't started charging the students for doing the internship there. China's Dog Meat Festival. You know, I have 16 dogs on my farm. So people think that I love dogs very much, so I should be against this festival. But as far as I'm concerned, people eat dogs, people eat cats, people eat birds, people eat horses, people eat cows, people eat pigs, people eat lamb. And I think when people are desperate, people will eat people. Like this famous plane which crashed and all the people were on this mountain, they ate the frozen bodies because that was the only meat that they had. So I think we should live and let live. We shouldn't insist that what I do is the right thing and what you do is the wrong thing. Just have respect for each other's practices. I'm not suggesting that you should eat your pet. But let me tell you something. If push comes to shove and we don't get food being sent in from other countries because we import 90% of our food, and if I really have no meat, I could eat one of my 16 dogs, you know. I'm so happy that Warren Fernandez, Editor-in-Chief of English Malay Tamil Media Group and the Straits Times editor, has decided to include this lovely article on Impact Journalism Day on 50 Ideas to Change the World. It's really wonderful, and I'm so proud and happy to read on the first page where they empower the visually impaired. And the person who's involved is none other than a Singaporean entrepreneur and philanthropist, Tan Chin Kun. I know him. Chin Kun, thank you for doing a great job. Perhaps if more and more rich Singaporeans follow your example and help more people in the world, we will all certainly be living in paradise. My favorite hero of the week, this gentleman, Peter Tay. He's a wonderful guy. He has taken time to spend time to look after his special girl. And what I feel is the best statement anybody can make. What I feel is the most fantastic statement a parent can make is never ever give up on your child. You know why I never had children? I wouldn't have that kind of patience. So I admire this guy and I thank him for having that kind of ethos in life. I would like to leave all of you with a thought. Do you know this whole thing about the Islamic State? Why do we call it the Islamic State? We should call it the evil state, because when we call it the Islamic State, stupid people think that these people are promoting Islam. They are not. So let's stop calling them the Islamic State. Let's call them the evil state, ES, so that we are clear that they have nothing to do with Islam. Okay, my friends, thank you for watching my shows and thank you for sending in your comments and your views. We love to hear from you. And do please subscribe to Happy TV because my husband has just found out how to do it and he's so happy to watch all the new things that he can see on Happy TV.